evening, everybody. Madam Clerk.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board.
Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Here. Councilmember Sims.
Here.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes. Here. Mayor LaBrus.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. This is a special meeting being held. I need a motion to go into closed session.
Offer.
Second. Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino. Aye. Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes. Aye. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. There will be a public portion. As soon as we come out of closed session, we'll open to the public. I don't believe it will be that long, but you want to, Your Honor, speak about?
I have to read the resolution.
Go ahead, sorry.
Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack deem it necessary to discuss certain actions under section 7B7 and 7B8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, which pertains to matters falling within attorney-client privilege, ongoing litigation, and personnel matters concerning employment of a current or prospective public employee. Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack is of the opinion that such circumstances may presently exist, and whereas the mayor and council wishes to discuss the following issues: personnel matters, ongoing litigation, matters involving attorney-client privilege. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack deem it necessary to exclude the public from this discussion. The outcome of the discussion will be disclosed within 90 days or at such time as the interests of the city do not require confidentiality.
And as far as the litigation, Mr. Mayor, we may discuss.
Microphone into the mic, please.
We may discuss Heck, Foley, Dalton, and Flanagan litigation.
Okay.
Any other stuff? Well, that's it.
That's
Personnel
it, just a
matters.
personnel matter we have to speak with in private. We will come back out and be open to the public.
Can I have a motion to return to the open meeting?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here, yes. Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is gone.
Can I have another motion to open to the public?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is aye.
All right, anyone who wishes to speak from the public, please come to the podium, give your name, address, and you'll be limited to 5 minutes. Thank you.
Where's the mayor and
They had to leave.
a special meeting they had to leave?
Richard Sullivan, Hackensack, New Jersey. How did this happen? I mean, this is an awful thing that took place with Lieutenant Price. I can't believe what you guys did to him. He didn't want the extravaganza up here that's in the article. How did he get promoted without a certification from Department of Personnel and Civil Service?
I'll be happy to answer that.
Please do.
We had a void in the leadership of the police department that needed to be filled immediately. We had an incomplete list of captains. Therefore, in contact with civil service, you have the ability to appoint provisional captains. And that's what was done.
It was not on the basis of the written test score, you're telling me? That's,
We were indicated that they had all passed the written, and we were waiting for the oral. And it had to be done. Because you know how long civil service takes to do anything.
I've never heard of a promotion without a certification in place. I must
Well,
admit that.
you if you have an incomplete list, you're allowed to appoint provisional captains, or lieutenants, or sergeants, if you have an incomplete list, which we had.
Well,
You can call up civil service if you want,
I probably could.
and I will make the statement on the record.
Please.
Other than Captain Price, there's no one that feels worse about this than me, Rick.
I don't doubt that, David. I really don't. And I know none of you wanted to hurt this man, but he's now going to be remembered as the lieutenant, the captain who failed the test. It's a shame. I almost wish you could do a resolution saying, regret, do something. You know, I can't speak to the black community, obviously, but, you know, there's always mistrust of the system and how did this happen? And it's terrible. Be creative, do something.
I will say again,
He's such a-
I
you know,
interviewed multiple individuals for hours.
I'm
And
sure he was one. I know that.
and-
Look, I was city
and-
attorney for 16 years. I was prosecutor. I know this man. He's not a
he,
political, just a straight shooter, hardworking guy.
what do you think he showed to me and to two other individuals that helped interview?
David, I don't doubt it because I know the man.
And what do you say when we're a civil service town and they have a testing procedure that they follow and there's no room in it? You know that.
It's awful.
It is.
Well, thank you for your forthcomingness.
What kind of resolution could you?
No, it's something. You know,
Yeah, something.
he's a good man. He
That's
deserves a
what
lot.
I
You know,
mean.
it's an error of the system. You know, the system backfired here, or the system's incomplete. You know, I'm not.
State of New
Maybe he
Jersey,
can do something. You know, it's an oral test, and that's
the
gotta
state
settle
of
up certain alarms,
the
you know?
state of New Jersey,
Subjectivity.
Subjective,
the
yeah.
state of New Jersey and David Trost don't agree.
All right, be creative. He's a good man. Let's.
Thank you, Rick. We all agree.
Agreed.
Regina DePasqua, Parker Avenue. The next promotions, can we not do the whole to-do until it's done? Because that was the thing. That was the thing. If it happened and there wasn't the whole, you know, big
Hoopla.
deal, yes, then it wouldn't have been, he would have known it, few people would have known it, but now everybody knows it. And as Mr. Salkin said, the headline in the paper, which was a really
Awful.
degrading headline, it really was. And he is a good man. And we can't do this to our employees. We can't, no matter who they are, police, city employees, whatever. We can't do it. And we've got to make it right for him somehow.
Regina, I think we all agree, and I think speaking with Mr. Trost, there was such confidence that, he interviewed so well, and there was a process that was followed, that he went through an interview process here in the city, and he was the top of the list. So I think there was such confidence that we were all in total shock that
But
something like
in
this
the
happened.
future,
I agree,
a done deal before we do it.
and
I'm
I
not
think
having a
we've- and I think-
graduation party for my kid until he has the diploma.
Lesson
Okay?
learned.
Okay.
Well spoken, yes.
Okay. What happened to Mayor LaBrosse and Councilman Battaglia?
They had other commitments.
They had other commitments? Okay. All right, just nothing was said about that.
Why make a special meeting when you got
I know. Well,
3 of us are here, and that's what's required, so we're here and we're here to listen.
okay, and now Mr. Mordaga is leaving us, and is there I hope we have a plan. I hope we have something that, is, going to work for the police department, because we've had enough, and,
Mr. Trost, would you like to comment now, or wait until she's finished? Answer her question?
I'm basically done. That's, if you have a,
We do have a plan, and there will be some announcements coming out shortly.
okay, thank you.
Evening, Council. Williams here.
Good evening.
I'm here to question that I'm surprised at what happened to Mr. Price. To me, as a black person, it's embarrassing. I had all these people here, and they come back and it's right in the paper. To me, it's a disgrace to the man's wife and his kids. And I don't know how it was done. But then there's so many things, I kind of have a little faith in the council itself, but there's so many things that are falling through the cracks. And we're getting sued, and eventually you don't know what's going to happen with this here. And I'm just curious about it. The police department, like everybody else said, it was a good man. But when I read it in the paper, and I see a lot of things from my perspective, I'm on the outside looking in, and it's just not right. And two, I've been calling the police about an incident in my neighborhood, and nobody never do anything about it. I've been calling the county, and I've been calling the city. This morning, I called the city. I got a police, there's 3 cars in about less than 5 minutes. And I told them what was going on, but they have this law that you can't go in a person's backyard. But the police went back there themselves, and they saw a lot of illegal activities going on. But it's just curious. I'm really embarrassed when they make it says, oh, he's the first black captain. But as I recall, when I came to Hackensack in 1960, I don't recall ever anybody else getting past a sergeant. Maybe there was, but I wasn't so involved in that.
No, I think you're right, Mr. Williams. I think he was also the first African-American lieutenant as well.
And everybody rejoiced around that. I'm kind of embarrassed, and I'm just saying the way I feel about it as a black person, what I went through in life, I see it as just, okay, somebody, academically he may have passed, but intellectually he may not have passed, but it's not right. So I see it. The city council, what are we doing? And I say to you, Ms. Geddes, and Mr. Sims, and the other council members, there got to be something done. I feel bad for the man and his wife and his kids, and this is national. I hear a lot about it in New York City, and I would appreciate if somebody can do something. You know what I mean? And at the same time, check a lot of these drug areas out in the city. You want people to come here. But you got to stop the flow of drugs that's coming into the city. And I see it, I call, nothing is being done about it. But I'd appreciate it.
David, I'd ask you to look into that. If maybe you'd give more information, Mr. Williams, after the meeting to our city manager. If you have information about drugs coming into the city, that's information that
Railroad Avenue?
Yeah, you know about it. I've said it several times. And like I said, the police responded this morning within 5 minutes. That was good. And I saw one, and the part about it, everybody in that shack was in scrubs. So where are these people coming from in scrubs that time of morning? And the police went back there, and I said, between the property that we own, between the fence, all you gotta do is people coming all time of night off the street, walking right between the 2 buildings, walk straight back to this shack.
You'll have to give me the address offline.
Okay. But
The shack is between James and Berry,
it's a garage, it's a tool shed that's in the back of the house.
on James Street,
No, on Railroad Avenue.
on Railroad Avenue?
So
Okay.
what people's walking by, they just walk into between my fence and the house and walk straight to the shack. And at night on James Street, they sit outside, and sometimes I be sitting in the car. I see them coming exchanging things, and I tell the guys, no, man, for a few dollars you're gonna get busted in. They're gonna take your car. So this is what I see when I come over here late at night, because I got this 87-year-old lady downstairs, and somebody gonna want some money. See her, she can't hear, she got arthritis, she leaves the door open. Somebody gonna jump the fence one day and hurt the old lady, because she don't hear when somebody come in the house. So I recently got her one of those life alert things that if she fall or something, I had that to happen. So that's what I know is happening. Late at night, the area's full. You can't find a place to park or nothing, but nobody enforces it. But thank you for your time.
Mr. Williams, can you watch out for your neighbors? Can you move next to me and watch out for me?
No, I don't want to live next to any Caucasians because I've been black all my life.
Oh,
I've been black all my life, so you're not going to accept me. You're
I'm
gonna
colorless. How's that?
Yeah, oh, no, I don't believe you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening,
You
Mr.
too.
Williams.
Rich Serbo. I'm going to excuse myself from this in a few minutes, so I'm ready to roll out of here. But I just want to bring up that I once mentioned, and it's on the table here again today, that we need an ethical department or ethical officer. We do. We're always saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, and then it becomes a legal matter instead of having an ethical officer. And a good attorney would be the perfect man to run that department. I think Mr. Carver would be a perfect man to go to and discuss things ethically, because it just seems that everything, all decisions here are being made wrong, okay? And we're getting sued left and right. So please think about an ethical officer for the city of Hackensack, okay? Is that okay? You shake your head,
Certainly
yes?
take it under consideration, but we consult with our city attorney, Judge Carver, on all of these matters, and he's a very important part of our organization.
Yeah, but
I promise you that.
But I'm talking about something other than a legal look at things. And it doesn't mean that a legal mind cannot be a ethical official. So, as a matter of fact, they probably make a good ethical official. But, so, think it over. Mr. Carver may want to head that department, okay? Thanks.
Take it into consideration. Have a nice evening, Mr. Servo. Anyone else?
Nick Hackensack. I called the building department today. I turned in Macione, 71 Newman Street, Lindsay Gas Station, Hudson Street in Lafayette, Qualified Towing, Court Street Auto Body, Hackensack Auto Body, Green Street, the construction yard between Green Street and the railroad track with the bulldozer on a pile of dirt. All American Ford, all three of their spots. Ever-Ready Oil, Tucci, next to Route 80, next to Ever-Ready Oil. All the empty lots in town should stay empty, not junk yards. We're in such bad shape that, I stay home most of the time because I'm either in the hospital or I gotta stay home. Once in a while I pop out. The construction yard behind Wawa has the audacity to throw all his junk right against their brand new fence. That is like the middle finger at the city of Hackensack. And what? These construction guys are really, they're criminals. And they know they're criminals, they know the rules better than anybody here. And they are the ones that abuse it the most. All American Ford. I cannot understand how they opened up an auto body shop on South River Street. Do you know that, Mr. Trost?
I am unaware of what you're talking about.
Okay. I know. And that's why you should never got the raise you did. You should have got 7,000 minus. But the stuff I mentioned, and you don't know it, you don't belong in this town. I'll tell you that, and I'll tell you to the day you walk out of this town. And don't let the door hit you on the way out. You've been totally obnoxious to me. And I don't mind people shooting me. But give me some answers for the city of Hackensack. That's why I'm here. I don't get nothing out of this but aggravation, and I gotta go to court every once in a while with some stupid lawyer that signs a click and pad or some other stupid make-up thing from the police department.
Well, Lenny, stay on topic now. What else do you have here that's of interest to you?
That's that. Is anything gonna be done about it?
Well, if you reported this to the building department today, let's,
I reported since 2006.
all right, let's give them some time to look into it.
2006.
Right, but you recently just,
You know what? I'm recently every other day.
let's give them some
And
time
the
to
police
address it.
department, which the shame of the police department is there's so many good guys down here, and you got a bunch of bums. And if you don't get rid of
Lenny, let's keep on track here.
and
Let's
if you
not-
don't get rid of those bums, they'll wreck the police. Well, we never even got the police report. We almost got it back. When I tell them about these things and something's going on at Macione, they treat me like I'm the criminal. Macione killed somebody with a dump truck at
If you don't know what's going on, and I gotta tell you, you should all get up, except for the attorney, and walk out that door and never come back. I don't know what the hell town you live in, but I've been in this town going on 70 years. Took a lot of stuff. You got the computers, you got drones, you got this, you got that, and I'm talking about stuff that's 20 years old. Matthew is making money hand over fist. How to report a tax sheet. It was in the paper, I hope everybody read it, because I will do everything I can to do the right thing. I talked to Mr. Borg, Mr. Fennell, Mr. Fennell, New York Susquehanna and Western Railroad, Mr. Borg about his property. I told him, and I can do it, I can try and do it, to get a 60-story skyscraper on that property sold before a shovel goes in the ground. The Susquehanna Railroad, owned by CSX, can go, long shot, Cooperstown, New York, Port Jervis, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware River, all across all the rivers, to Hackensack, across the Hackensack River, to the Edgewater Tunnel. The money you spent on these stupid soccer fields, you should have gave and worked with Susquehanna. You could be on that train tomorrow. They have to lay 2 miles of track, and you get a railroad, and you start shuffling people there. You will increase the land value of this town like you wouldn't even want to believe.
Okay, Lenny, your time is up.
don't see the light
Thank
go
you
on.
much. Thank you much for your comment.
Oh.
Thank you much for your comment. Have a nice
No,
evening.
don't thank me. I want something done, and there's more.
Okay, Lenny.
I've talked to him 1,000 times, he's done nothing. Except get a raise, as far as I'm concerned, that he don't deserve.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak?
And I'm ready for a recall.
Seeing none,
I'll run around town.
may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pataglia is not here. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here. Yes,
Councilmember
aye.
Sims. Councilmember Keeling Geddes.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus. Not here.
Councilman Sims, do you have anything to add?
I don't know how anybody can laugh.
Lenny, please.
So you like laughing in my face?
We're not laughing in your face.
Well, it seems
Councilman,
like it.
it's Councilman Sims' turn to speak.
We hear your wishes and words
You gotta speak to the mic.
of Mr. Price, and if Mr. Salkin and Regina or anybody out there can think of something, or if we can come up with some kind of resolution.
I don't interrupt you. The more I thought about it, even though you might want us.
Yeah, that was my comment. That was my comment, Rick. I'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
Okay, it was a lesson learned. Prayerfully, it'll never happen again in the city of Hackensack. Thank you for coming out.
Ms. Geddes.
I thank Mr. Salkin and Ms. DePasqua for bringing up that subject about Mr. Price. I can only speak for myself. I can't tell you the devastation I felt when this all happened. I do agree that something needs to be done. I know Mr. Price wants it to be over, but the community needs to hear something from us. They need to hear something because the perception is really, really bad. And it's up to us to do something. I can only speak for myself, and if I have to put out something on my own, I'll do that. But something has to go out to explain, to communicate with the community. They're hurt, they're disillusioned. The comments on Facebook and the phone calls that I've received are really devastating. And I just hope that we can do something as a council to correct this as much as we can. Thank you.
Should never hire more dad.
Lenny, please. You know, I echo the sentiments, of course, of the other council members, and also thanks, folks, for coming up and recognizing what a good candidate, what a good police officer we have in Mr. Price. You know, we did have a process that the city manager explained. We had a process that was followed. There was a rigorous interview process that happened here within the city of multiple people. And Mr. Price, you know, was the top candidate through that process. And he needs to be commended for that. I agree that from what I know of him, he's a very private person. And I wouldn't want to do anything publicly that would continue to call attention to something that he wants to move on from. But I do think as a council, maybe there is something that we could put out, either a press release or a statement that maybe explains to the public what this process was and what the outcome of it was, and that this interview process was not conducted by the city. The interview process for the oral was not conducted by the city, but by the state, because I'd received questions about that based on their interpretation of the article that was in the newspaper, that this city is a civil service town, and regardless of how we feel about things, we are bound by the civil service rules and the civil service exam. And unfortunately, this outcome was one that none of us were prepared for or none of us could have predicted. As far as celebrating it ahead of time, you know, it's always easy to look back and say, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I think everyone in the city was excited to be moving forward with the police department and happy to acknowledge someone that I think the entire city knew was an outstanding contributor for many, many, many years here. And we got ahead of ourselves. You know, maybe, you know, we jumped the gun in celebrating because we were so confident that this was going to move forward. And for that, I think we'll all, you know, we apologize to any hard feelings or any embarrassment that it has caused Mr. Price and the community. And I do think we need to think about some type of a message perhaps to convey this, as Ms. Keeling is saying, that there is lots of feelings throughout the city that need answers. So that being said, thanks those of you who came out tonight for this special meeting, and hope everyone enjoys the rest of the evening. May I have a motion to close the meeting?
Offer.
Second.
Roll call. Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Sims.
Aye.
Councilmember Keeling Geddes.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus is absent.
You never told us what happened in the back room?
Meeting is closed, Lenny. You can come up and talk to us if you'd like.
What?